When you think of the word data, what springs to mind? Percentages? Bar graphs? Pie charts? Testing? Results? What if data could make you think of beauty, expression, story, connections, creativity? What if data was personal? Most international schools say they want to create well-rounded, caring global citizens who make the world a better place, right? You know the saying, you assess what you value? What is it that schools seem to value? Standardized test scores, attendance, and exam results. How can we shift the narrative by collecting data beyond academic performance alone? What would we learn by sharing this type of data with each other? Drawing inspiration from the Dear Data project created by Georgia Lupi and Stephanie Posovic, my colleagues Peg, Andy and I decided to collect and share our personal data. We used the iPad with Apple Pencil for our visualizations. We started simply by tracking how many coffee and teas we drank in 1 week. So, what did we learn? Tracking something makes you notice it. Peg learned that she bought coffee nearly every day. Andy found the more stressful his day was, the more coffee he drank. And I learned that I drank the most coffee and tea out of all of us. Just the process of collecting our data made us more aware of it. How could we leverage this in the classroom? We know that tracking something helps raise our awareness of it. So what behaviours do we want to shine a light on, particularly for students? I decided to track a week of thank yous. A challenge for me living in Switzerland is developing the confidence to speak a new language. It turns out 12% of my thank yous were in French. This is now good baseline data for me to try and improve on. How could focusing on behaviours like thank yous impact your classroom? Seek the story behind the data. I love to visit art galleries. I love the works of art, absolutely, but I also love the little stories next to them. Sometimes written by the artists, sometimes by art historians. They explain the background behind the artwork and help give more meaning to it. I think this is a crucial part of data visualization that we need to explore. Peg and I decided to track our hugs for a week. Looking at my hug data might indicate I am a very huggy person. Those who know me know this is true. However, this was a particularly huggy week. This made me realize about the importance of not taking data at face value, but looking at the story behind the data. One of the days was a superhero party for my colleague's 40th birthday. A lot more hugs than normal there, and I'm sure Super Tequila Man was only partially responsible. Another day, I took part in a march in support of equal rights for women, which explains the prevalence of hugs with females. The data is only one part of the whole picture. We need to dig deeper to get more meaning. Data is an opportunity for connection. This is my 13-year-old daughter Scarlett. Through the process of collecting this hug data, I realized I wasn't getting any hugs from her. This prompted a conversation where I casually mentioned the data project, and then I noticed I wasn't getting any hugs from her. Since then, without asking, I get a hug at least every night. Collecting this data helped improve my relationship with my daughter. Every piece of data is an opportunity for conversation and connection. The visualizing also matters. Too often, educators rush in the presentation phase of any work. It is seen as the prettying up stuff that happens at the end if you're lucky and if you have time. But well-designed visuals can make a significant difference to the way you interact with information. Which would be more engaging for you? This or this? Visuals can help us identify connections faster as images travel more quickly to the brain. We need to understand that making quality visuals takes time, and we need to factor that in when working with students. Exploring Georgia and Stephanie's latest book, Observe, Collect, Draw, will provide some excellent starting points for anyone interested in pursuing this further. Alfie Kohn argues, when educators reduce students to data, they miss an awful lot. While that may be true, from participating in my own data collection, I would say educators who don't track any personal data may miss an awful lot too. Let's track the things we value and involve our students in the process. Let's make data personal. You never know what you might learn.